metal is so much stronger than flesh. Why didn't I think of this the first time?
How did you get in here? Stay back! Get away! Help! Save me, my creation! I'm coming, Doctor! Hurry! Help! Hurry! Hurry! Help! Help! No! Help! 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 Hurry! No! Hurry! Hurry! Help! Help!
All right. So before we sort of get into the world, describe how you're controlling things. Actually, I was struggling a little bit to understand how you were interacting at times. So the beginning, you seem to be sort of swiping left and right, but then also like waiting to throw. So
Yeah, because basically this is at first you have the table and some props on the table and monster chasing doctor. So you're throwing stuff to the monster to slow it down. Yep. And when you throw, you need to pick something up. So if you want to throw it with your right hand, you need to use your right hand to like prepare to throw as a monster.
okay, so the arrows were indicating like prepare to throw and then throw.
The arrow is indicating you need to throw which side. You need to, if you throw from the right, you will hit the left character. If you throw from the left, you will hit the right character. And if you accidentally hit the doctor, you will lose.
Yes,
we have
but
seen that.
you did a good job of actually showing sort of the consequences of messing up. And I applaud you for being able to do that and then get right back to the action like really quickly. I was like, whenever worlds sort of end somewhat abruptly, like you have a lose scenario, it's usually a struggle to sort of get back to where you were. You did a really smart thing, which was if you die, it just like kicks you right back to where you were, and so we didn't lose a lot of momentum. So basically the interface shows us arrows, like to pull the arm back and then grab something. It was so like just from a visual perspective, it was hard for me to know exactly what you were doing. I didn't have much confidence as if I were a guest that I would know what to do. At the same time, like I totally got what was happening on the screen. Like I sort of knew like who was in peril, that we were throwing things to slow down the monster, and actually you did a great job of like showing the consequences of missing. And then so there were extra stakes here that we could actually miss. But the first, like the world is gorgeous. Like you have like from an artistic perspective, both the art and the audio just are working really well. Just the world is rich. You go with black and white, so that color like stands out more, and that like it lets us know that's something special. Like the beginning, you have 3 voice characters, and they're all very different. I didn't really understand what the monster said, but I understood that he was like menacing and scary. Like I didn't need to hear what he was saying to know what he was saying, which was nice. And so all the voices were nice and distinct. We knew who they were, and like they did a good job of establishing like the monster scary. The doctor is sort of a nice guy, and that the robot is sort of small, weak, but interesting in helping. So like good work on just sort of getting it all established with the art and the audio.
Yeah, because the Flipkenstain story is at 1930, so we check a lot of reference from that age, including how the TV, how the bookshelf should looks like. Yeah, so that's why we make it black and white, because we check the films that ages, it's black and white too. And the monster don't have much of voice because the first time the doctor built the monster, he's kind of like insane, so he can't really speak clearly, so he goes right.
No, it's great to hear you guys thinking through your design choices, because the whole idea of like sort of world building and understanding where everything's coming from, like whether or not it actually gets explicitly shown in your world, the fact that it's there means you're going to be more consistent and it's going to make the world richer. So like just the whole setup was really great. I questioned, so one of the things I started to lose was who I was, and you sort of set up that I'm this little robot, and that I'm helping. There's this moment where I get a new part. One thing I was missing was you had what appeared to be icons for my hands, but they appeared to be skeleton hands. What was that choice? Like I was a robot, right?
Oh, you mean
The gesture indicator?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like.
Kind of a mismatch during like design changes.
Yeah, and so one of the things I started like the what I was like the whole scene was nicely framed, like the tension of the doctor being chased with the monster, like it was really nice. The interface wasn't communicating as much to about who I was and what I was supposed to do as I sort of wanted to. This is like the world experience was great. So like this would have helped a little bit more, especially when you got a new power on the hands. Like all of a sudden, if that had changed, like you could have used like sort of like a missed opportunity to like have the interface tell the story of me, of how I'm helping. And then the other interface we had was the flipping sort of with the hands. Tell me about that choice. Like so, it's not how we normally flip a table. You guys were sort of like it was a rapid thing.
When we started to design this game, we were like inspired by this flipping gesture. It's very satisfying, and we didn't do it much in real life, though we want to. And so we're thinking about if we want to split the table, how can we do? What's the way we do it? We designed 3 ways. And first one is you just flip, and the table will just go. And second one is because you are a little robot, you are very weak, so you need to flip very hard to make it work. So you need to
What's that do?
slow. And,
Yeah.
you can't be too fast. You can't be too fast or too slow because they will fall down. And third way is because players are free. Players will do whatever they want. They won't. I think they won't want to be constrained by this speed thing. So we designed the third way, which is you need to flip several times to make it work. You have to constantly do it. It's like working out. Yeah.
Just adding to Jason's point, so this is where we realized the technical limitations of the Kinect. Making a proper gesture, like grabbing onto a table, that would be tough to recognize. So we decided that the most satisfying way was to have like multiple flips, and that would get the player involved into the scene and also.
No, it feels like a good compromise in wanting the gesture to match the real life desire, but recognizing that there are limitations in technology, but also limitations of sort of balance. Like a single motion flip is sort of overpowered for what the world calls for. I think, like I said, for like the one thing I would sort of want to iterate on this world is the feedback to the guests, in a sense that, as I'm doing this, that I'm getting closer to the actual flip moment. And like, I think that was like the one thing that was like, like I said, the one thing that sort of confused me was just exactly what the guest was doing and why. All the story and all this stuff was really communicated well. It was, I'll say, it's a little weird. Like the ending, like, caught me by surprise. Did not expect this turned into a romance.
That's our point, to make a twist ending.
And it was, I think, like you did, it wrapped things up. It was surprising and weird, but like the tone of the world had weirdness in it. So I think the weirdness, it didn't break that. It was, like I said, it was surprising. And actually part of what was surprising was seeing my character all built up. And I think that was the other thing that got a little lost was the world, I think rightly so, focused on the monster and the doctor and what I'm doing to help them. That I sort of lost the story of the robot. And like we upgraded once, and like the upgrade was nice because it changed the gameplay. But the end, what you sort of revealed was there's this like much more complicated thing going on. And my guess is it's sort of a balance between the story you wanted to tell, the story you were able to tell. But that was sort of what surprised me the most was that our little robot turned into this big, buff, like cobbled together robot. And I would have wanted to, like, if I could have gotten it, like a little bit more of that build. But overall, man, you guys built an awful lot. Like everything, the music, the sound effects, like you had great sound effects tying things together, like setting up the televisions and the different changes of stuff. Just really consistent and like good use of the style and everything sort of integrated in that way. And just came together into just a fun story to watch.
I would have increased the pace of the opening slides. That you dwelt on those a bit much, and then the pace of the actual chase could have become very frenetic and funny because you had more of a chance of killing the professor. I thought. So I would have sort of whizzed that up a bit. But otherwise, and I love the eye damage. I often have problems in games understanding what I've just done right, and to have his eyes spinning, I thought was really neat. Good job. Thank you.